I come across this quote from you, which maybe sums up almost everything you do. And you said this: any human endeavor rooted in the pursuit of truth must rely on facts and not feelings. It's a very interesting statement. You know, I graduated from 1993 with a degree in engineering from MIT, and I was taught that it all came down to the scientific method to prove things. And now, 30 some years later, it seems like the world has changed dramatically. And I really want to get your thoughts. Also, this is personal because my stepdaughter just started school in Boston at a university there. She's 18, just turned 19 today. And so I'm deeply concerned that she's about to go into a world that I don't even understand, that I can't control. So you tell me, where do we start, Doctor?
Right. Well, I guess maybe we could start with my most recent experience at USC. So last week, I was invited to speak at a one-day event celebrating the 10-year anniversary of a center at USC. The center is called the Center for Economic and Social Research, and it was a day to celebrate the values of the Enlightenment. And so I decided that I would deliver a lecture on something that is very relevant to the quote that you introduced the segment with, the dichotomy between, pursuing truth versus feelings. But I'm going to put it in more formal terms. So I talked at USC about deontological ethics versus consequentialist ethics. And so let me spend a minute or two explaining what that is. A deontological statement would be an absolute statement. So, for example, if I say it is never okay to lie, that would be a deontological statement. On the other hand, if I say it is okay to lie if I wish to spare someone's feelings. So if your spouse asks you, do I look fat in those jeans, and you wish to have a long marriage, you might wish to put on your consequentialist hat and say, no, you've never looked more beautiful. So for many things in life, we navigate through the world through a consequentialist prism. But when it comes to the pursuit of truth, I argue that you have to be deontological. In other words, there is no freedom of inquiry, but ... There is no freedom of expression, but ... In other words, I don't need to worry about what the downstream consequences of my research might be, right? So, for example, if I'm studying the difference between religious groups in terms of their proclivity to commit terror attacks, well, some would argue that, well, you shouldn't do this kind of research because even if that research were to prove veridical, you would be, quote, marginalizing this group, and therefore you shouldn't do it on consequentialist grounds. Whereas I argue, no, that's a very dangerous, slippery slope. And so I tried to take that message to the people at USC in speaking about your stepdaughter and the viper's den that she's about to enter. And you would have thought that, an esteemed place like USC would be very open to what I consider to be very, very non-corrosive, statements that I'm making that defend freedom of inquiry, freedom of speech, individual dignity, personal agency, the scientific method. And if you saw the hostility that I faced, now the hostility was not they tried to shout me down, they didn't throw tomatoes at me, it wasn't a physical confrontation, but the level of either overt hostility or passive aggressive hostility. So I was there for the whole day, and usually, people will come up to me, if not to take selfies with me or so on, they at least engage me. It's warm, it's academic. The manner by which people were turning their back to me, as though I were this, I was basically indistinguishable from Himmler, was really laughable. Two people were very, very angry that I proposed something that was truly beyond the pale, because I argued that, we can all be in favor of transgender rights without murdering truth. We don't have to say that men too can menstruate and that men too can bear children in the service of protecting your rights. And people thought that those were very, very, very dangerous statements. So much so that one person argued that kind of speech should be regulated by the government. So if I am at a USC conference speaking about the values of the Enlightenment, and a statement such as men cannot bear children can cause such a reaction, we're down a pretty dark abyss.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's of course been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just in overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you gotta pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.